So there is a chapter in the Bible that almost every single time I've read it, it has made me cry involuntarily. It just happens. And even thinking about it, it makes me cry. And it's Isaiah 53, which is probably the most prominent prophecy of Jesus' coming in the Old Testament. And I just find it so beautiful because the book of Isaiah, you can ask anybody, any historian, the book of Isaiah was written hundreds of years before Jesus came to earth. And the fact that it was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls just makes it even more beautiful. And I'm gonna read Isaiah 53 and try not to cry. Literally thinking about it makes me cry. Like this is actually my second take recording this specific part because I really messed up reading the first part. Whatever. If I mess up, I'm sorry, okay? Who has believed what he has heard from us, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a young plant, and like a root of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at him, and no beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by man, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, we have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that is before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And for his generation who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living, stricken for the transgression of my people. And they made his grave with the wicked, and with a rich man in his death, although he had done no violence, and there was no deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him. He has put him to grief. When his soul makes an offering for guilt, he shall see his offspring. He shall prolong his days. The will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Out of the anguish of his soul he shall see and be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous one, my servant, make many to be accounted righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his soul to death, and was numbered with the transgressors, and he bore the sin of many, and makes intercession for the transgressors. Every single time I read that, it makes me cry, like involuntarily, just like, if you look at my account, I was very depressed, but that is just the surface level. That's just the tip of the iceberg of who I was before Christ gave me his mercy and he saved me. I was a wicked man with the way I acted, with the way I did things. I was so depressed. I attempted to unalive myself twice. And because of Jesus Christ, I don't have those things. I do have temptations, of course, because I still live in the flesh, but I now have hope in Jesus Christ alone. And if there is anybody out there who does deal with these feelings, or does deal with wicked thoughts, or are just wicked in general, come to Christ. Paul was probably one of the most wicked people you can think of. He was a mass unaliver. I don't want to say those words because TikTok will, come to Christ. I highly doubt any of you watching are worse than Paul, who rounded up Christians and unalived them, okay? Come to Christ. There's no sin too big for the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video of me crying. God bless you.